Hey guys, in today's episode, the release date for the September update has been leaked. Level 13 legendary cards could be coming to Clash Royale, and Barbarian Barrel could be the new meta. All that and more in today's episode of Clash World. Hey guys, it's Legendaray here, and welcome back to another episode of Clash Worlds. In this weekly show, we take a look at the most recent announcements from the Clash Royale team, the hottest topics in CR Esports, as well as what's going on in the community. Then, we'll finish off the episode by breaking down the meta and featuring my off-meta deck of the week. If you're enjoying Clash Worlds, then please leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified of every video that comes out. And with that out of the way, let's get right into the first section. New in the Arena. New in the Arena is where we find out about what the Supercell team has been up to this past week. Firstly, the update date for this next update could be confirmed. On a Reddit reply on a concept, CR replied with, "Remind me 1 week." If you go ahead and do some quick math, you'll get September 6th. So could this be the planned date for the update? I'm super excited to find out, so let's go over all that we know about this next update. First, the new card has been confirmed by Supercell, and it is the Goblin Giant. This card seems super interesting, and by what I can tell, it will be a 6 elixir epic tank that heads straight for buildings, as seen here when he ignores all troops and goes straight for the tower. The 2 spear goblins on his back, in the meanwhile, will fire freely at troops. After that Goblin Giant dies, 2 spear goblins will pop out and continue to fire out their spears. Definitely a really interesting concept. Unlike Rascals, they're a single troop until that giant goblin dies. What do you think about the card? Let me know down in the comment section below. Now also, level 13 legendary cards are coming to Clash Royale. As you can see in this balanced picture, we have level 9 epics and level 9 rares. Here's a diagram that explains this very well. As you can see, the Clash Royale dev team basically just shifted the levels up. So if you unlock a legendary, it will automatically be level 9. Similarly, epics start at level 6, rares start at level 3, and of course, commons will start at level 1. So yes, the level of cards will be standardized by power level in the next update. This is game changing. Well, actually, not really. Of course, stats and gameplay won't be changing at all, but it's just a cosmetic change that will make learning the game easier. I totally agree with this change, and basically tournament standard from now on will be level 9 commons, level 9 rares, level 9 epics, and level 9 legendaries. It'll be kinda weird to see level 13 legendaries on ladder, but I'm sure it won't really matter in the long run, as again, none of the stats are changing. Next up, a game-changing feature is finally coming. Trait tokens. Trait tokens are a thing found in clan wars, challenges, and can be bought in the shop. These are pretty self-explanatory. It allows you to trade a card that you don't use for a card that you want. Just go ahead and communicate your request in the clan chat first, and then go ahead and send the trade. I'm really looking forward to using this feature in the game, as it'll really help pretty much everyone level up those cards to higher levels on ladder or to tournament standard. Next up, it's finally that time of the month again, balance change week. These will go into effect tomorrow and are definitely going to bring about some interesting changes. Let's take a look. Valkyrie hits speed from 1.4 to 1.6. Finally, Valk has been so prevalent in the meta for the past few months. As Supercell said, she is meant to be excellent at fighting swarms, but should be weak on 1v1 combat. I completely agree with both the reasoning and the nerf, as the haircut to the card will definitely tone down popularity without completely killing it. Royal Recruits, damage plus 12%. The Royal Recruits were just an underpowered card after that emergency nerf changing its elixir to 8. Finally, seeing a huge buff in DPS, it might be much more worth the 8 elixir. In addition, Supercell changed the recruit's deployment to be able to overload one side, meaning 4 to 5 on one side and 1 recruit on the other, allowing for better placement. In addition, Royal Recruits will now be found and used in Clan War. Barbarian Barrel elixir cost from 3 to 2, area damage minus 9%, range shorter from 7 to 5, and removed knockback. Oh boy, Barbarian Barrel can now finally compete with all the other 2 elixir spells. Being now only 2 elixir, it can be so much more viable in cycle decks or just any deck in general. Barbarian Barrel is now a positive elixir trade to archers and Goblin Barrel, and can even be cast alone just to cycle, which hit points minus 3.5%. Which is a very interesting card. She was pretty busted, but the Valk was keeping its use rate and win rate in check. Now with the Valk nerf, she is also seeing a small nerf. She can now die to Fireball and Log, making her much easier for players to counter. She is still a skeleton spawning nightmare, but just with a little less HP. Print, hit points plus 5%. Prince, with only a 4% use rate in grand challenges and a super low 33% win rate, just really wasn't that great in the current meta. However, with a huge 5% buff, many players, including me, think that it could just be a little too much. As Toby Spirit Hawk says, I can explain you easily why the Prince didn't need a buff, because other meta cards countered Prince. Valk was broken, Zappies, Tombstone, E-Wiz, P.E.K.K.A, and Mortar Spam were all super popular, and Prince isn't good against Royal Hogs. Prince is very strong, and with this 5% hit point buff, he will be dominating the meta. Now what do you think about the Prince? Lightning, damage plus 5%. Lightning is a super underrated card in this current meta despite the popularity of medium-sized units. This 5% damage buff makes it a better sub for Rocket and other medium spells and gives it much more value. I recently shared a super good Golem Lightning deck, and be sure to check out that deck in this new meta because it's about to be good. Royal Hogs hit speed from 1.1 to 1.2. Yes! This nerf was completely and utterly deserved. Royal Hogs skyrocketed from a 1% use rate to being the most popular win condition in the game. This is only a small nerf to the Hogs though, which again I like because it won't kill the card, but will definitely make them less popular. Royal Hogs almost guarantee some chip damage onto the tower, so this lower hit speed will be sure to tone them down a bit. Cannon card, range shorter from 5.5 to 5. Last month, the team slightly overdid the cannon cart buff. It's just slightly too strong, locking onto towers so quickly that it was so difficult to block or react. The shorter range will give opponents slightly more time to intercept it and make it less pressuring all across the board. Zappies change reload mechanics. These zappers have actually been low-key OP in the new meta. However, their hit speed and reload time was causing some issues, so Supercell lowered their first attack after moving, which prevent them from being stun locked by other Zappies, which is just a small unintentional glitch in the game. What do you think about these balance changes? They sure look really exciting. Let me know what you think about them below. Now, the rapid fire improvements. Being able to see 2v2 teammates elixir, move 2v2 cards to the side, emotes in chat. Clan War battles can now count for your crown chest. And finally, get a war sack at the end of each war with a ton of gold, as well as a chance to get a trade token. Man, these are some really exciting changes, and I really hope that this update is coming out soon. Now that's going to do it for New in the Arena. It's time to check out the Esports update. The Esports Update is a segment where we take a look at the new and rising pro players as well as recent esports competitions. Again, to keep things short and simple, we are only going to be going over the North American region of CRL. In week 2, we've seen some super exciting matches this week. Complexity beat Team Solo Mid 2-1, 100 Thieves lost to Tribe 1-2, Cloud9 beat Tribe 2-1, CLS lost to TSM 0-2, Complexity beat NRG 2-0, and finally 100 Thieves lost to the Immortals, picking up their first win. Now here are the current standings for Clash Royale North America. Keep in mind that the top 4 esports teams will move on to the finals. Right now, the 4 teams are Complexity, Counterlogic Gaming, Tribe Gaming, and Team Solo Mid. However, it's still pretty early in the season, and honestly, anything could happen. But now that we're caught up with the most recent esports news, let's check out the rising rumors. And as usual, a new episode of Clash Rama was uploaded on the Clash of Clans YouTube channel. It has aspects for both Clash of Clans and Clash Royale, and is super fun to watch. I really love the storyline that they have in this episode, involving a bandit and being in a Clash Royale battle deck. This episode even got to number 4 on trending in the US. Be sure to check it out. And also, there's now a new community manager for Clash Royale working with Tim, and his name is Drew. And so far, he has been really active talking with the Reddit community. I really like this change from Supercell to be more transparent and active with communicating with the CR player base, and honestly, just keep up the good work. Now that we've covered the trending topics in the community, let's go ahead and break down the meta. Now, of course, balance changes are coming tomorrow, so instead of analyzing the current meta, I'm going to be making predictions on what the new meta could entail. Of course, this is just my opinion, so feel free to let me know what you think about the meta down below. Firstly, I think Valk will still be popular. I believe use rates for her will drop, but she's still going to be used in quite a few decks. Barbarian Barrel might actually be meta with its new 2 elixir cost. I also predict a Prince meta as well as a Lightning meta. Again, like I said earlier, Prince's buff I think was a little bit too overboard with 5%, which is pretty huge, and Lightning as well. Lightning is such an underrated card in this current meta, so I think this 5% buff could also shove it back into popularity. So that's the future meta for you guys, and now let's check out the off meta deck of the week. That's right, in each Clash World episode, I'm going to be featuring one off-meta deck that works in the current meta. This week's deck is a crazy Mega Knight Sparky deck with a bit of bait mixed in with that Goblin Barrel. Of course, Sparky is generally used initially on defense and then on a counter push, and NATO is just so valuable and synergizes with so many cards in this deck. It's super fun to play, so without further ado, let's get right into a battle. Alright, so looks like this battle is going to be against Ibra from the clan The Walkers. So good luck to this guy, and starting off the battle, I'm gonna go ahead and play a Goblin Barrel right onto the corner of that tower, seeing if this guy has, you know, a log or something like that. And no, looks like he has a zap, so that's definitely gonna be really good. Zap, Goblin Barrel and Sparky synergize really well because that zap can only be used on one of the cards. So it looks like this guy also has a goblin, a Dark Goblin, so definitely a really interesting deck. I'm just gonna let that lock onto the tower, and looks like he's gonna have zappies as well, so I'm really not sure what this guy is running at the moment, but it's definitely not something good. So yeah, here, let's go quickly zap out this bat so that Ewiz does survive, and then we can go ahead and just send in another Goblin Barrel as the Electric Wizard crosses the bridge. I'm pretty sure I've outcycled his zap, so that's gonna, oh wow, okay, never mind, he cycled back to his zap, but the Ewiz will do substantial damage onto the tower, bringing it down to 1759. Now here, I'm gonna go ahead and put my archers all in the same lane because I'm not sure if he has a big spell or not, and looks like so far he hasn't shown one. Here, once again, he's gonna go Dark Goblin in the back. I'm just gonna rinse and repeat, go with that Dark Goblin right there, and that Ewiz will go ahead and finish it off. Oh wow, he's got Royal Hogs. Oh my god, that was a terrible Mega Knight. Yeah, that was not planned. Alright, anyways, let's just go ahead and ignore that and pretend that never happened. Unfortunately, that Inferno Dragon is going to go ahead and vaporize that Mega Knight, and then our archers will go ahead and take out that Inferno Dragon. Meanwhile, he has some bats, but that's not really a threat. Archers and the tower will finish that off. So now just 10 seconds left until double elixir time. Looking to make a nice connection here, either with the Goblin Barrel or the Sparky. Again, Sparky, whenever it connects onto the tower, it's just an absolute monster. So here in double elixir time, I'm gonna go ahead right here and actually get a King's Tower activation right there. Unfortunately, we are gonna take quite a bit of damage right there. We are still gonna get the King's Tower activation, but we are taking a ton of damage. Here, let's go in with a Goblin Barrel. So I'm gonna zap it out. But anyways, that Electro Wizard will connect onto the tower for a ton of damage, guys. And that Sparky will take out everything. Let's go, guys. We got 2 Sparkies down. Let's go tornado everything together. And yeah, there we go. Things are looking pretty pretty good. We got a 100 damage, 100 tower damage lead. Let's go with some archers right here. Let's go in with an ice barrel. Let's try and cycle back to a goblin barrel. Let's go ahead and send in the goblin barrel. See what this guy has. I don't think he has zap because he chose to use the zap on defense. That Sparky actually destroys the zap. He splashes onto the tower. 7 seconds left. That is going to be insanely good for us, guys. Unfortunately, we don't have that many spells. But here, let's go tornado those hogs back. He uses zap, so that means that Sparky's gonna get a shot onto those royal hogs, take them all out. Let's go ahead right here and get a goblin barrel down. Let's go ahead and see if that will finish off the tower. Let's go quickly zap out those bats, and yes, let's go. We're taking out that tower, and we are going to be grabbing the dub against one of the more popular decks in this meta right now. I know royal hogs are getting a nerf tomorrow, but hey, you know what? Still a meta deck, so definitely showing that this deck does really, really well. So there we go. That is the off meta deck of the week. Definitely recommend you guys give this deck a try. If you want to submit your own deck to be featured, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. But unfortunately, guys, that is all I've got time for in today's episode. If you enjoyed, please leave a like down below as well as a subscription to my channel. And as always, this is Legendaray, and I'm signing off. See you guys next time.